a wonderful day. Today we are going to talk about avoiding and being perfectionist and how these tendencies can prevent you from discovering your amazing self and creating the relationship of your dreams. In case this is the first video in this challenge you are watching, feel free to check out the playlist and watch the previous videos about our positive versus negative inclinations towards the world and especially our relationship. And check out the videos where I introduce this nasty character, judge and the saboteur, who are creating us our negative emotions and causing us lots of problems in our life and especially in the relationship. So today we are going to talk about the avoider and stickler saboteur. And let me start with the first one. And if I had an avoider, I would actually avoid this conversation because that's what exactly avoider does. The aim of avoider is to have a good time, to avoid anything unpleasant. Avoider just wants to deal with pleasant and positive tasks, situations, or conversation. And this would be amazing, isn't it? All of us, we want to have life which is positive when we don't have to deal with conflict. But unfortunately, the life is not like that. We will always deal with some things which we would prefer not dealing with. So the challenge here is that if we deal with negative things in a way avoider does by avoiding them, we will avoid anything which is difficult, which is unpleasant or confusing for us. And it's basically impossible. So what the avoider does? Avoider says yes to things you prefer not to be doing, but you want to avoid the conflict. So instead of saying no, you just say yes to have peace of mind. Or the avoider also makes a little account of real problems and postpones their solution. And lastly, avoider prefers pleasant and unimportant things. She does the tasks which are not that painful, which are pleasant, but they are not important, and she avoids doing the real important stuff. How many of you said yes to your partner when you wanted to actually say no? How many of you have been postponing this really important conversation? You know about it, that you need to talk about it, you need to have this conversation with your partner, but you still keep postponing it into the indefinite future. Or how many of you keeps doing the dishes instead of buying the dishwasher just because your partner thinks it's a waste of money and you don't actually need one? Avoider promises us peace, good relationships, and tranquility. But as it is with all the other saboteurs, we just get some small breadcrumbs when we listen to our avoider saboteur. Where is the entire bread, meaning the real happiness and the real fulfillment in the life? Why we should not listen to avoider? If you keep saying yes instead of saying no, be it hanging out with his boring friends you don't really like, or him hanging out on Friday night alone without you staying at home, you will eventually end up being frustrated and you are bound to explode. If you keep postponing that important conversation you know you need to have, you will end up not only with no solution, but also an artificial relationship which cannot work in a long term. If you keep doing the dishes and not getting the dishwasher, you will end up resentful of your partner and you will never get to start the business of your dreams because you are doing the plates instead. So can you relate any of these? Do you think you can trace avoider in your behavior and thinking? The first step, the most important one actually, is to realize that you have the avoider saboteur and how it's impacting your ability to discover your real amazing self and to create the relationship of your dreams. So once you realize it, now you can stop listening to it. You can start weakening it by connecting to your higher amazing self and by strengthening your mental muscles. And even if this sounds like it's not making no sense or it sounds crazy, we are going to connect the dots in the next videos, and I will show you exactly what to do. Now let's have a look at the stickler saboteur. For a stickler, she or he desires to have the perfect order in everything. For a stickler, right is right, wrong is wrong, and there is nothing in between. Stickler happily ignores the 99 good or positive things and focuses on the one negative or bad thing. Basically, if you or your partner have a stickler saboteur, it's perfectionism and the desire for order and organization taken too far. Your stickler saboteur can cause you to have the following thoughts or feelings and emotions. This relationship is not perfect, so let's move on. I just asked my partner to put the mug in the right cupboard. I don't understand why he just stormed out of the kitchen. I just wanted to have some order in the kitchen to keep this house clean. Or the last one, I must be a terrible partner and parent. The kitchen is messed up, the kids are using the swear words, and my husband, instead of hanging out with me, he goes out and plays pool with his friends. I am trying to do everything perfect. I'm trying to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, yet I must be so inadequate because the order is falling apart. As all the other saboteurs, even the stickler can have devastating impact on yourself and on your partner or any other people around you. So on yourself, the stickler causes constant disappointment that the others are not living to your ideal standards. You are anxious, and beneath all of it, you are angry and frustrated. On the other hand, your partner on others, they feel resigned because whatever they do, it's never good enough. It's never good to your ideal standard. So they just give up and they feel frustrated. They feel constantly criticized. As with the avoider and all the other saboteurs, the key step is to recognize that we have it. And then we can work on the way how we stop listening to them. What is also important to say is that in case your partner or any other close people have a stickler saboteur, suddenly you can realize how difficult it can be to have this saboteur. It will give you more empathy and more understanding of this person, and you can be on the way to heal yourself and the relationship. Imagine having a strong stickler saboteur when nothing is never perfect. You do something and then somebody comes and disturbs your order. It's like living in hell. So once we realize this, we can start healing the relationship, connect to our wiser self, and start strengthening our mental muscles. Your third challenge is to trace the avoider and stickler saboteurs in yourself, in your behavior, and in your relationship. So grab a piece of paper or just open a new tab on your computer and start writing down all the situation, all the thoughts and emotions caused by the avoider and stickler saboteurs. After you are done writing, ask yourself this question. How would I do things differently if I decided not to listen to these saboteurs? And in the next video, this is when the things will become even more interesting because we will start connecting the dots. I talked about that the first step is to realize the saboteur, to be aware of them, and then the next step is to weaken them. And this is exactly what we are going to focus on. So if you don't want to miss anything out, below the video, I shared the invitation for the live sessions, and I will be also happy to share reminders with you and some extra materials and also personal stories and examples, because this is what I find so powerful. And in any case, let me know what did you discover and how the stickler and avoider saboteurs are messing up your relationship and how they are preventing to discover your amazing self and create the relationship of your dreams. I will see you soon and have a great day.